I've been working towards this goal for the last 4 years of my life, and I'm so excited right now. My hands are literally shaking. Ooh, nice soft velvet there. I just can't believe it's finally happening. Okay, that was a little overboard, but emotion works really good in YouTube videos, so I gave it a shot, and that's lesson number 1, by the way. Trigger emotions. Anyway, I've been pretty focused on getting this channel to 100,000 subscribers and snagging that elusive and frankly kind of smaller than it looks YouTube play button since 2018. My original goal was to hit in 2021, then the pandemic struck and I was stuck at home and oh man, I guess I can't blame that on the pandemic. Anyway, I made it, and if I can make it, any one of you who is watching this video can make it too. After all, check out this clip of me and my first video. And so I'm so excited to teach this because this is my real passion. Clearly anybody can improve in this space and grow. Like I said, if I can do it, anybody can do it. And in this video, I'm gonna go over the most important lessons that I learned on the journey to 100,000 YouTube subscribers. And I'm gonna use a lot of real world examples from both this channel and my other channel that has about 50,000 subscribers so that you can see exactly what it is that I'm talking about as I talk about it. Now here's my promise for those of you still watching. I can virtually guarantee to anyone trying to build a YouTube channel that there will be a nugget or two in here that can spark massive growth in your channel. I only ask that when that nugget comes, you show this video some love in return. Let's dive in, let's do this. The first one is to understand that YouTube has multiple algorithms at play. So we all know that there's the Google algorithm, right? And Facebook has an algorithm, but YouTube has multiple algorithms and they're very, very distinct. The most distinct ones being the search algorithm, which is how it determines what's gonna show up when someone searches something in this search bar right here, and the suggested algorithm / browse algorithm, which is basically where it decides what's going to show up when someone first logs into YouTube, or what it's going to show when someone finishes watching a movie. Essentially the social media aspect of YouTube. Now when I first got started on YouTube, I only really thought about the search engine side. I would try to focus on keywords, always looking for new keywords that I could target. But eventually I learned that it's actually only like 18% of YouTube's views that come from people searching and then watching videos. Much more of those views come from people being recommended right when they log in or recommended after they watch another video. That's where a much larger portion of YouTube's views come from.
Wow, okay.
That means that while there's plenty of views you can get using the search right here, there's way more views that can be had if you can figure out how to target the other algorithm as well. And that doesn't mean you have to give up on any search engine traffic. In fact, a lot of times it just means you have to tweak the way you're approaching that particular video. For example, you can see here that I made a video about high ticket affiliate programs. Now I could have just made one focus on that keyword. I could have made it in my thumbnail and said high ticket affiliate programs, right? But instead we took a slightly different approach. And you can see here that we said affiliate programs that pay $30,000 or more in commission. Now you can see how that's got a little more social media side to it. It's a little more sexy, right?
Admittedly, I'd click on that, you know.
And it's got a much bigger chance of actually being recommended to people because they see that thumbnail and they want to know more. And now it's not just going to show up in front of people that are looking for high ticket affiliate programs. It's probably going to show up in front of all kinds of people that are looking up all kinds of different things in the affiliate marketing space. And YouTube says, hey, you might also be interested in this. And they see that thumbnail and say, wow, yeah, programs at $30,000 commissions. That's incredible. And down the rabbit hole they go. So if you look at my channel right here, you can see my first videos were all very keyword centric, both in the thumbnail and in the title. You can see I'm basically just putting my keywords right here in the thumbnail. And it didn't do terrible. They still got views, right? But every one of those could have been dramatically improved had I tried to potentially think about ways that I could target the recommended or the browse algorithm as well. And that's gonna take us to number 2, and that's focus way more on the thumbnail and title than you probably currently are. I can remember hearing once, and so I can't verify this is true because it's kind of come down the grapevine to me, but I've heard that Mr. Beast spends 8 hours on average on a single thumbnail or more. And what that means is there's multiple variations being made, multiple tests, multiple everything until they come up with the perfect thumbnail. And a lot of times you might look at one of those thumbs and say, wow, they must have whipped that out in 5 minutes or less, right? But it's not the case. Even though it may look simple, a lot of testing and a lot of thought went into actually creating a simple thumbnail that can still do its job, which grab your attention. And the same thing goes for the title. A lot of times we just want to put the title, what's in the video, right? For example, on screen here, we can see my original video here says how to earn money on YouTube views. Now that was a real title. That's exactly what the video is about, right? But can you imagine how much better I can make that? How much better my click-through rate could be if I gave it a little bit more pizzazz? Something like how to 10x your money for every view on YouTube, or how to earn massive commissions off of almost no YouTube views, or anything like that. Any one of those has dramatically more potential to get a whole lot more clicks than what you're looking at here, where I just tell them, hey, this video's about how to earn money on YouTube. Now you can contrast that to the new titles that I've got right here. This is the new thumbnails for all of my new videos, and you can see it doesn't even look like the same person is creating these, when in fact they're not. But you can see right here that a lot more time is being spent on these titles and a lot more time on these thumbnails. We're no longer just throwing the text from our title directly into the thumbnail and running with it. We're actually making an eye-catching thumbnail that tries to get people to look at it and to see something that they desire and to see some emotion. And then we're trying to make a title that actually grabs them and gets them to click and watch the video. So you can see right here that this particular title, I talk about earning $100 within 24 hours using a new method. Now there's a lot to break down here, but you can imagine how much better this is than affiliate marketing with AdWords, which is kind of realistically what this is about. But we made it much more sexy, right? It's a different method that I've never taught before, so I add that in there. It's got literal potential to get commissions in 24 hours, so we throw that in there. We're trying to give a lot more pizzazz to our titles and thumbs these days, and it's dramatically increased the view count and obviously subscriber count, monetization, everything good on our channel. The next one is when something works, hit it with a hammer, meaning go at it again and again and again. I've had multiple times on this channel where I've created a highly successful video, and instead of turning around and focusing in on that particular subject and the stuff that video was about, I instantly moved on to the next subject because that was what was next on my list of YouTube videos to make. But the times that I've stopped, I've looked back at that successful video and made a second, a third, a fourth, a fifth, and as many as I can about that subject. I've seen huge results from it. Now, I think there's a couple reasons for this, but one is that if you think about it, if you make a video and it does really well, not only does that tell you that your current audience really likes that video, but it tells you that that video is going to bring in a bunch of new audience members that also like that video. So now you've got a core audience that's basically told you they love this subject. So why would you move on to another subject when you just had a bunch of people in your audience and a bunch of people join your audience because of a previous subject? So a good example of this is you can see when I first started, I was kind of dabbling along. These are my first few videos. I talked about building a website. I talked about how to do a WordPress menu. And then I did a ClickFunnels review and it did really, really well. And then I went and moved on to YouTube, you can see, and YouTube did poorly. And I tried YouTube again. Why not, right? And it did poorly as well. And then I woke up a little bit and said, okay, ClickFunnels clearly did really well for me. So you can see right here, I go to town on that subject. I do the ClickFunnels affiliate bootcamp. I do ClickFunnels bonuses. I do ClickFunnels affiliate program. I do setting up SMTP with ClickFunnels, ClickFunnels demo, my #1 ClickFunnels strategy, right? This is ClickFunnels as well, even if it doesn't say it. ClickFunnels versus Builderall. And you can see I'm getting in this small channel, 20,000 views, 60,000 views. I'm taking additional wins from that initial win because I figured out quickly that that's a subject that now my audience is interested in. I also noticed that I became somewhat of a category king in YouTube's mind, meaning that if I put out a video and the word ClickFunnels was included in the title of that video, I would probably rank for that keyword within an hour or two. I would move up extremely quickly. And I believe that YouTube started to recognize that ClickFunnels was something I specialized in, and it started to understand that it could trust ranking me when I talked about ClickFunnels. Since then, I moved on to affiliate marketing, and I have the same thing. I've made probably 100 videos that all talk about affiliate marketing. And now when I make a video about affiliate marketing, it moves up incredibly quickly in the rankings and typically ranks within an hour or two for the keyword that I'm targeting with affiliate marketing. The next one's a quick one, but I really think we need to have this mindset, and that's that you need to grow with your YouTube channel. And what I mean by that is when we first start getting into YouTube, we have 50, 100, 200 subscribers. Oftentimes we think that we need to have it all. We need to have the best mic. We need to have the best video camera. We need to have the best everything, best background, the best recording software, everything perfect in the beginning. And that's not how any of us started. All of us started and we grew with our channel. I've purchased probably 5 mics. My original mic was $10 and then I had a $100 mic. My mic now is $400. Perhaps someday I'll have a $1,000 mic. Same thing with my camera. I started with just the camera on my computer. I moved up to an iPhone camera. Then I moved up to a Nikon and now I'm using a Canon that's about $1,000 camera. And so everything, we just grow with the channel, and you can start with whatever it is that you have. And as you grow, which you will do if you put out content, then you can continue to purchase better and nicer things for your channel as you go. By the way, if you want to know my entire entire current setup, we'll leave a link down below, and you can also click on this card right here, and that'll take you over to a video where I kind of talk you through what I'm using right now for lighting and camera and all that fun stuff. Number 6 is one that's very, very important if you're struggling with creating consistent content, meaning you're one of those YouTubers that puts out a video and then a few weeks later you put out another one, and then a few weeks later, maybe even a month or two later, you put out another one, and you just haven't been able to get consistent. The key to fixing that problem is batching. Let me explain a little bit. In my business, my YouTube business, I have 4 buckets. One of those buckets is ideation, where I come up with ideas. One of those is outlines. One of those is actual filmed videos. And one of those is thumbnails. And all I do each week is I look at these different buckets, and I will look and find a bucket that's low, meaning I don't have that many in that bucket, and I'll fill it with 10 or so new ideas. For example, I might spend a whole week just focusing on content ideas, and I'll come up with 10, 15, 20 really good YouTube video ideas. Now the next week I'll do the same, but with outlines. I'll create outlines for all those good ideas that I had. And now the next week I can just film, and I'll be honest, that week is so exhausting, just so exhausting. And then after that, we'll have a thumbnail week, right? Now I've got 10 of everything. I've got the next maybe 3 months of content planned out, and all I've got to do is kind of just start refilling buckets, and whichever bucket is low that week, I can do another 5 or 10 to refill that bucket. And that's how I stay ahead of my YouTube game, and I'm never ever without content to put out in a week. Fill your buckets. Now the last thing I want to talk about is one that probably should have been first, maybe second. Somehow it ended up at the end here. I don't know how, but that's the idea that trending content beats everything else. And what I mean by this is when I look at these channels, the content that has just blown up my channel has not been when I did a bunch of research and I found a video, that there's a bunch of other videos and it's been around for 5 years. It's when I become one of the first people to talk about a subject, or when there's a really big thing happening in the news or happening out in the world, and I'm able to tag into that and make my channel part of that. Now this is in the crypto space, and even those that aren't in the crypto space are probably fairly familiar with Dogecoin. It was about 10 or 11 months ago when it just blew up and everyone and their dog was buying Dogecoin, regardless of whether or not they'd ever even heard of crypto. Now I saw that coming right at the very beginning because I was in the crypto space, and I was able to very quickly capitalize and be one of the first people to make content about Dogecoin. And you can see right here, my video about how to buy Dogecoin got 120,000 views and brought in thousands and thousands and thousands of subscribers. So I took that idea and once again, I started to hammer that nail. And a little while later, a coin called SafeMoon came along and everyone was talking about that. And I became one of the first people to talk about how to buy SafeMoon. And a little while later came along Shiba Coin, and I became one of the first, though I was a little further behind on this one than the previous ones, but I still was able to get almost 20,000 views before this trend kind of died. And so there's so often where you can take what's happening out in the world and be one of the first people to put the content out there and relate it to your niche. A great example of this is the checks that the US government was sending out last year. Everyone was trying to figure out the details of when they get this check, how they apply for this check, all of that stuff. And a ton of different niches were able to make content on this and grow extremely quickly. For example, a lot of the personal finance people, a lot of the budgeting people, a lot of the real estate people, tons of different niches were able to make content focused around their niche, but also around this subject, and really blow up quickly because they were jumping on a trend where everyone was talking about something at the time, and they were just a little bit ahead of that trend. Now, another great example of this is you might remember about a year and a half to 2 years ago, there was someone who grew a YouTube channel. In fact, we'll zoom in right here. This lady right here was able to grow a YouTube channel with a single video to, I think, 500,000 subscribers, which means all the YouTubers were blown away by this, right? One video, and she just blew up so fast and got to 500,000 subscribers. So Anthony was just starting his YouTube channel at the time, and he was teaching people how to start YouTube channels. And by the way, he had a lot of experience with clients' YouTube channels and stuff like this. He wasn't brand new to YouTube. Anyway, so he saw this and realized that he could take this trend, this thing that everyone was talking about in his space, and be one of the first people to jump on it and talk about it on YouTube. So he made a YouTube video about how she did this. How did she get to 1 million subs that fast, right? And he took a channel that had almost no subscribers, probably less than 100 subscribers at this point, and was able to get 35,000 views, which is really good for a very small channel just starting out. So you've got to keep an eye on what's happening in the news and see, and always think about if there's a way that you could apply this to your space or your category, and then very quickly be the one to do that. And for the bonus one right here that I really wish I would have focused on in the beginning, it's you've got to know your audience better than they know themselves. You've got to know 3 important things. What are their biggest desires? What are their biggest pain points? And what do they think is stopping them from achieving their desires or getting rid of their pain? So for example, my audience is people that are trying to learn affiliate marketing, and they're trying to start making money with affiliate marketing in particular. Now, a lot of these people come in and they watch all these videos and they say you need to run ads and things like that. And so my audience has found itself frustrated, thinking that their lack of money is holding them back. The fact that they don't have any money to get started to buy courses or any money to buy ads ads or any of that stuff, it's holding them back. So I can make an affiliate marketing video that says how to get started as a new beginner with no money, right? And I'm tuning into this, their desire, but I'm tuning into what I've learned about my audience and what they think is holding them back from succeeding here. And you can see I did the exact same thing, affiliate marketing with no website, because a bunch of people thought they had to have a website to get started with affiliate marketing. And then I found out a bunch of people thought that traffic was holding them back. They couldn't figure out how to get traffic to their affiliate links. And so I was able to make a video about the top 5 traffic sources, right? And talk about how they could get 10,000 clicks. So I'm learning about my audience. I'm learning what they really want, what's really holding them back, and what they think is holding them back. And then I'm solving that in my content. Once you start to really get to know who these people are that are watching your videos, it becomes a lot easier to come up with ideas because you just target your ideas to their desires and their pain points, and then you target your messaging to what they think is holding them back. Now, if you've stayed till the end, I'm assuming that you are extremely interested in succeeding on YouTube. Well, guess what? So am I. I would love to know what you feel like you learned in the comments. That can be your tip to me for putting this out. And since you're a YouTuber, you know how important that kind of stuff is. So go ahead and let me know in the comments what it is that you learned from this video. And if you're someone that wants to learn more from me, I do have trainings that I put out about YouTube, and I'll link below to those as well. Again, guys, thank you so much for watching. 100,000 subscribers, 1 million, here we come.